Hello everyone and welcome back to Stationeers. Right, I think I have managed to figure out how I will deal with the internal, basically, refiltering of the systems. And by the way, I don't think we need to worry about pollution in the base right now, because the base is actually too big. Yeah, there we go. If you take a look at it, we did release some pollutants by painting, well, most of this right here, but there are no pollutants in the base. That is because the base is simply too big and we are releasing very little amounts of pollutants, and basically they dissipate so much that they become undetectable, the game stops tracking them, and, well, they are no longer existing in the game. So actually that is not a bad thing for us. But anyways, I still want to be extra sure that we are, not polluting the base. So we need to go home, and which way is the wind blowing? It's a bit hard to tell. I think it's going in that direction. We might be able to go home relatively easily. Anyways, we need to print out a couple of stuff. We need to print out, let me see, at least one extra active vent. And right, it is a bit slow, but I think we can get home fine. So we need to print out one active vent for each of these setups and two pipe meters. What else? What else? Oh, right, and we also need one more console input. But that's about it as far as I know. And there we go. Okay, just go inside there. Right, I wish we had a countdown for the end of the storm. Unfortunately we don't, but well, it's fine. Anyways, for now, let's just strip down and let's print out what we need. So, as I said, we need one active vent for sure. We already have one active vent for the input of the internal atmosphere, but we need one more for the output of the internal atmosphere. So we need an active vent, because obviously we don't want to waste whatever is inside the base. We only want to get rid of the unwanted stuff. So there. That's, although, you know what, let's just print out two of them. We need at least two. Sorry, active vent. So one more. And then we need some pipe meters. I think we need at least two. Yeah. No, wait, four. We need two for each of them. And then what else? Obviously the code has been rewritten, so that's going to be fine. We will need to rename a lot of stuff, so be prepared for that one as well. And so the active vents, the pipe meters, oh right, and the extra input from the the modular consoles. So modular consoles, we need one extra input: iron coupled electrum silicon. So silicon and electrum, and iron and copper should be in here. Right, so one more of each, but we have two consoles that we need to change, so I will print out two of them. So there's one and there's two. I don't think I will change the carbon dioxide filtering right now. I think that's going to be fine. We are not really interested in siphoning of the carbon dioxide from the base. We are interested in putting it into the base. So I don't think we need to worry about that. Anyways, also that one goes in the inventory. Let's cook this one. Oh, this one is fine as well. There, just switch places. Eat, drink, and then we can go, I think. And there. So we have the inputs, we have the meters, we have the active vents, and I think that's all we need. Right, let's go for it. And yeah, I really wish we had a countdown for the end of the storm. I don't know. I was struggling to get here in the first place. I am not sure how much I will struggle to get back. Anyways, let me quickly vent the waste. The oxygen is fine. Yeah, let's just go for it. Also, I didn't forget about the volatiles filtering. I will deal with that once the storm goes away. For now, let's focus on the consoles. There's the change. Okay, so where's the base? The base is right here. Okay. I was going the right way. So, that's going to be a lot of work to make these work, but unfortunately I couldn't make it any less complicated than this. I'm sure someone more experienced could have done it, but I am not that experienced. Anyways, we need one output vent facing into the base, like that. Might as well wire them up. That's great. And then we need to put down a little bit of extra piping. So you and you come with us. Yeah, we need exactly 2 pieces of pipe, so that's great. Wrench, and you face that way, in there, and then you do the same. And that will do. Okay, so those are the active vents. Then we need the pipe meters. This is just a extra precaution. It is not strictly speaking necessary, but it's better to have it than not. Also, not facing that way. What do we need to remove them? We need the... Okay, good. Need to be facing this way so we can actually see it. That's fine. And you know what? Let's just paint them. So these there, and we need to paint that one, and we need to paint yellow the last remaining active vent there. Right. Wait. Didn't I paint these red? I did. Oh, I painted the... never mind. It's fine. So the pipe meter, once again, goes here. Right, and let's just take a look at the pollutants. So look at that, they are dissipating into the base, and in a second they will basically disappear because they are getting so dilute that the game will stop tracking them. And that is... It's a little bit of a cheat or exploit, I suppose, but there we go. Not much I can do about this. This is how things work. Anyways, so that's fine. That's fine. And now we just need the inputs. So for this one, we need to pick up this single piece of labeling there. And then we need to move the switch. So you guys can go there. We need to move the switch, and we need to place down one more switch. And that is going to be the flip switch cover. There. So stop, and we need this one. Right. This is just for extra precautions. We could use the normal switches as well, but for the applications we have, this will be better, I think. Anyways, next up, let's load the actual code, and then I will walk you through the actual process at the very end. So load this one, overwrite there, and we need to be a bit careful because this code is basically at the end of its limits. we have 0 line to spare. Oh, okay, technically speaking, we have lines to spare because I have placed these line breaks between the different functions, but for the readability, I will leave this here. Other than that, we have no lines to spare. And if you take a look at the size of the code, we have about 11 bytes to spare. So yeah, we need to be careful how verbose we are with these names, for example. So instead of POLL, we are just going to go for POL. That's going to be a bit, well, economical. And there we go. Okay, confirm. Let's use the pollutants first because we are not using this one for anything right now, so it shouldn't be a big problem if we disturb this one. Right, let's overwrite, and then we need to, well, rename a couple of stuff because, as you might have guessed, I had to make some of the names and register names a bit shorter to make them fit. Not a lot, but enough for us to have to rename a couple of things. Anyways, I accidentally overwritten. That's fine. It's just a quick renaming again. And there we go. So, we need to rename a couple of stuff. Let's take out the labeler and let me see, I believe this is going to be the all out vent. In fact, let's just take out the laptop and make it sure. So the tank is just going to be POL tank, not POLL tank. Okay, as far as I can tell, I have done everything. Let's double check. So, pollutant tank, filtration, tank pressure, tank temperature, tank liquid, filter 1, filter 2, invent, internal invent, out vent, internal out vent, in switch, safe switch, alright, the tank regulator as well. That is quite important, so let's take care of it now. I know I'm doing it through the window, but oh well. So tank regulator, but without the regulator and pole. Okay, so now it should be fine. So everything should be working as intended. For example, if I do this one for a second, yeah, the pressure is going up. So we have a bit of pressure in here. It is now empty and it is empty as well. Good. Right, so let me walk you through this one. Also, let's just double check. This one is inoperable, but if I do this one, it is operable. Okay, it is working. Right. So, edit. Let me walk you through this. Obviously, at the very start, we have all these naming designations, so we can save on the size of the code. So instead of having to write out hash and the complete name of the device, we are using a much shorter variable name basically. And then we have a couple of preliminary setups for some of the displays. The tank pressure is set to mode 14, tank temperature mode 4, and so on and so forth. And we are designating the active and the change color registers, so it is a bit easier to read. We could save on the space in the code, but at this point we don't have to, so it's fine. So we start, and this is the first section of the code. It is pretty self-explanatory. We are loading the pressure from the tank, change the color according to the values, and then write the color and the setting to the display. Pretty standard. The same for the temperature, same for the amount of liquid in the tank, and the same for the filters, right? Yeah, the filters. So that's filter 1, there's filter 2, and then this is where the complications come in. Here we are reading the position of the in switch. This one is now only, obviously we are changing color according to the position, but now it is only operating the intake vent from the outside, nothing else. Basically, I have changed the way things work a little bit. So, for example, if the filtration unit have any kind of pressure on the input, then it will come out of idle mode and go active and start filtering out whatever is in the input pipes. And then we will check the safety switch. This is where the safety switch is kind of important. So right, we are loading the state of the safety switch. If it is off, so basically if the setting is 0, then we jump over 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we are going to load once again, the pressure, but now from the unfiltered output of the filtration unit. And then we will turn on the outside vent. So basically, if the safety switch is turned off, we are venting to the outside. But if the safety switch is turned on, then this one will not be true, and we are going to carry on with the code as usual. Load the pressure on the output of the unfiltered of the filtration unit. If it is greater than 0, then we will turn on the internal out venting. So basically we are putting back the unfiltered stuff back into the base. Right, so there is that. And then next section is just the temperature readout, the same as the color change and all that kind of stuff. Then the overpressure safety, so if it is above 40,000, the regulator will turn on, pretty standard. And this is the last part. Here, the safety switch check happens. I have set up the same kind of check that we had on the furnace setup. So if the safety switch is, if the safety cover is down, then we want to make sure that the main switch is turned off. But if the safety switch is open, so basically if the cover is open, then we'll jump over the turning off part, and then we will start checking the main switch. If the main switch is turned off, then we will put a lock on the only active vent that we will operate by hand. Right, so there it is. Basically, this is an extra precaution that we are not going to vent either outside stuff into the base or base stuff out of the base. And there it is. So this one should work as exactly as we need. So the safety switch is right now in the off position. So this vent is completely inoperable for us. I'm clicking and nothing happens. Great. And if I take in any kind of outside gases, then we are using that vent to get rid of the unwanted stuff. And then the pollutant goes into the tank as usual. So let me take a look. This one is now empty. Good. And if we flip the safety switch, then technically speaking, we can still operate the outside intake switch. Unfortunately, if we take a look, the I don't know, logic switch, this one, unfortunately there is no lock for this particular device. I did leave a message for the developers of the mod, so maybe they can add a lock for this device. That would be amazing. So if the safety switch is turned on, I want to lock this one so we don't accidentally operate it. Unfortunately, we don't have that option, so we need to be just be careful basically. But anyways, this safety switch is now turned on. That means that we can operate this vent. And because of the way things work, all we need to do is turn it on. It will start inputting into the intake part. It will start filtering off because there is some stuff in the intake vent, also the intake pipes. And the unwanted stuff from this filter, basically the internal CO2, goes back into this pipe and it gets blown out back into the base. Right there. And that's perfect. Right, and this is why the meters are important. So, we can make sure that once this one is completely empty and this one is completely empty. Then we can turn the safety switch back off and we can start venting in from the outside again. I could not make it any simpler than this. I mean, the only thing missing now is the locking of this one, but that's it. I checked. I don't think we can lock any of the input devices on these modular consoles. And we have no more space left in the code for me to do a workaround. So unfortunately, it will have to be like this. We just need to be careful. Anyways, this is now empty. This is now empty. This is idle. Good. We can close the safety switch and it goes back to off. This one is now inoperable and it is working as intended. Good. Okay then. So this is now able to filter off the pollutants from the base if for whatever reason we have a spill. And let's just do the same for the volatiles. Right, so this one should be working again, at least as far as I can tell. So let me just take a look. Yeah, the filters are working. By the way, the filters are working here as well. Yeah, it is fine. And we are intaking volatiles. We are only using the external one. That is correct. Let's wait for this one to empty out. Good, and now flip the safety switch, and if we put in internal atmosphere, then we are using that one. Exactly. And not using that one. Very good. Right, it is working. And also this will go idle if there is nothing in the input vent or the input pipes. Okay, so this one is working as intended now. Very good. Okay, so we can filter off the accidental spills of volatiles and pollutants from the base. Very good. Okay, I am pretty happy with this one. Unfortunately, we still don't have the lock for the in switch, but oh well. Now as for this one, I don't think we need to worry about filtering off excess CO2 from this base. Yeah, I don't think we need to worry about that. I think we can leave this one as it is. Yeah, basically we are just venting into the base, not out of the base. I think it's fine. Right, next up, I would like to make a small change to the radiators outside. Let's just pick these up. Any more piping that we could pick up? Not really. I don't think 7 is going to be enough. Yeah, I think we need to go home and print out a bit more. I will place down whatever we can right now, and I will print out whatever we need next. But we need to make a small change for the radiators. Basically, right now they are not quite as efficient as they could be. Basically, we don't have them hooked together as a single network. Right now, that little piece of pipe is one network, the radiator is another network, that is another network, so on and so forth. And that makes it so that the transfer between the pipes and the radiators and the radiator to radiator as well is not quite as efficient as it could be. So tell you what, let's make it as efficient as it can be. Let's pick up a piece of white pipe, paint these, and quickly put this one back. Thank you. And let's make sure that everything is a singular network. Okay, that is just one. We need to be a little bit more, so let's just go home and print out a couple of extra pieces of pipe. If we have some, I suppose we can just bring them here. but I don't think we have any pipes in the old base. Let's take a look. Let's see, yeah, we only have liquid pipes. Right, so we need to just print out a couple, it's fine. So we have no iron in there. It's in here. Please just empty out. I didn't count how many we need exactly. That's fine, just print out a bunch and I'm sure we will maybe be able to make use of them eventually. Okay, from now on they are going to be a lot more efficient. Right, they are now on the same singular network. And there it is. Okay, let's just go inside and let's see what we have accomplished so far. Theoretically, the nighttime cooling of the cooling setup should be a lot more efficient now. As you can see, we are really struggling with the condenser on the coolant side. If we are able to, well, get rid of the extra heat a lot more efficiently, then this one should be in a lot better place. Right. There, and these ones are now a lot better. I don't know if we could have done this any better than this. I'm fairly sure that we could have, but I am not a whiz kid, so this is what I managed to put together. Okay then, so we are still filling the base with CO2. It is now 29 kilopascals, so it is actually a pretty decent pressure. I don't think we need to print out the the planters just yet. We are nowhere near the point where we can actually start planting. The pressure is fine, but the temperatures are not, so I don't think I will bother with the planter just yet. Maybe we can work a little bit on the outside of the base. For example, we could work on the foundations, I think. Let's just go home and print out a bunch of frames and steel sheets, so maybe we can make the foundations a little bit nicer. Right, I think we need to weld up all these. Also, we can unweld this one time. We don't need to have this one fully welded. That's fine, and I suppose we can extend the foundations as well. And what I'm mostly interested in is the these wedge pieces for the base legs. I think if you put them down for every single corner, it would look kind of nice. Alright, and don't forget about the Volatiles filtering. Right, what do we need for that one? We will need one liquid drain, and I think we need to have one gas sensor as well. Because if we don't have a direct access to the outside temperatures basically, then we need to monitor the temperatures in some other way. So right, we need to print out some piping. Although we do have the pipes, we need to print out one liquid drain and one sensor. Let's go for it. So liquid drain, for that one we need some copper. One of these will do. And then we need a sensor. And iron, gold, copper as usual. Easy enough. So copper, gold. Right, and after this I think I will start printing out a bunch of frames and steel sheets. Right, I don't really want to leave these unattended either, so let's just start printing them. Let's see what we can do in the base in the meantime. I suppose we can deal with the cabling here while we are printing the frames. I don't want to take my eyes off them basically. Anyways, what do we need to pick up the fuse, we need a screwdriver. Okay. Obviously, we need to move this one. You will be here from now on, once again as a 5 kilowatt version. And yeah, let's just redo the wiring a little bit. We do have a battery, yeah, it's fine. We can keep printing. Okay, you know what? I think 18 is going to be enough. Next up, let's go for the steel sheets. Oh, right. That one is not working. Did I sever connection to the gas sensor? There it is. It is... yeah, just a straight piece. Okay, we need to go down like this. And it's back. Good. Okay. So I think the cabling now is fine. Let's just quickly pick these up. So we have 18. Yeah, we need a bit extra because we have some unwelded pieces on the base already. So I will print a bit more. But other than that, I think it's fine. Oh, right. Let's just harvest the next potato, which is going to be this one. Nice. Okay, I think this is going to be enough steel sheets. Right? Yeah, no half grams. Good. Right, I think we can go. It is right now 500 degrees. Okay, I will work on the volatiles filtering right now, and we will deal with the base in a bit. So we need to have a straight piece of pipe going up so we can attach a liquid drain to it. That will do, and a liquid drain as the passive one. That will do quite nicely. So this one will prevent these pipes from bursting. That's great. Then we need one gas sensor so we can monitor the temperatures, because obviously we only really want to do this at night. So let's go ahead and place down the sensor. Yeah, you can go right here. It's fine. And a piece of cable so it is actually on the network. And obviously I have tested this before, and we need to hook up the data port for this one, but not for the cooling. Those are just fine. So let's take out the chip and take a look at the code. Import, edit, and right. So we need one more device. Alias sensor D0. We need the input temp, right? That will come from the sensor. So load the input temp from the sensor instead, and not temperature input, just temperature. Then the output pressure is fine. Yes, that one can come from the filtration. So I think the temperature tolerance is still okay, but you know what? Let's just go down to 130 degrees Celsius. So let's help out the AC units a little bit at least. And also I think we can go to 50 megapascals pretty safely. It will not overpressurize, so it's fine. So if the outside temperature is 130 degrees Celsius and the pressure in the pipes on the output is less than 50 megapascals, if both of them are true, then switch the filtration's mode to be active. Right, if any of these checks don't apply, then it will be set to idle, and that's it. Right, okay, that one should be all right already. So export, in you go, although maybe in the slot please, thank you. And we can turn off, sorry, turn on, right, except we need to attach the gas sensor. So device 0, please. There we go. Right, I mean, I suppose we can operate the active vent as well. Although... yeah, we need to operate the active vent too. Right, I forgot. Okay, that one will be device 1. Thankfully, we have 2 device slots, so... alias... vent D1. So if both of these are true, then we just need to make sure that we also set the vent on to be the on-off register. Right, now it should be okay. Okay, so once again, overwrite the code, export, and add the vent to the device 1. There. Only a single active vent is on the network and only a single gas sensor, so there are no confusions. So turn on. Right now it is too hot outside, so it will not turn on, but as soon as we are below 130, this one should turn on, start pressurizing up to 50.7 megapascals, perfect. As much pressure on the input as possible, so the filter will be as fast as possible, and the condensation will be dealt with the liquid drain, and we can start cooling it off. Right. So the temperature is approaching 130. So this one should turn on in a second. And it's on. Very good. So it's working. Great. And we are putting a lot of volatiles in here, right? Oh yeah, a lot of volatiles. In fact, maybe we should increase the volume of this network so we can, well, increase the volume so we can put in even more. Although it's fine. Let's come back to it later. For now, let's work on the base foundations a little bit. Let's start with, yeah, the frames. So, as I said, I would like to have these wedge pieces on these corners, so they appear to be, you know, supporting the base a bit more. Right, so the base should appear to be a little bit more robust than it used to be. Yeah, the foundations look a bit nicer now. Also, I have been meaning to get rid of those ground pieces. I don't think... yeah, they appear to be quite ugly and they are not as much of a help as I thought they would be, so let's just mine them out, it's fine. I would have done this just for the aesthetic reasons, but their utility is not as great as I was hoping, so oh well. Right, so that is fixed now. Next up, let's take care of these, I suppose. Okay, so the legs and the main foundation is all welded up, and we have 6 more foundations or frames. What can we do with those? I don't really want to put corner pieces on the legs here. Technically speaking, we could. Let me just show you. So we could go for, yeah, these pieces. Let me just rotate it into place. So we could go for that one, but it would not look good on this corner. So yeah, let's not do that. It's fine. Let me just pick this one up. Okay, waste and caution. Right, let me just switch that one out. There. Where could we put these frames? I think maybe right in front of the entrance would make sense. So let's just have the full frames right here. 3 of them. Or let's just have all 6, is fine. I'm sure this place will be expanded in the future. And let's just mine out the pieces that are a little bit clipping through.
Hydration critical.
Yeah, that will do. And let's just weld them up at least one time. Right, and I was thinking that maybe we should expand this downstairs landing area. The airlock is fine as it is, but maybe we can extend the, well, this space into a slightly bigger room. So maybe we can have the, well, for example, the battery could be in there, or maybe we can have, I don't know, the suit storage in here as well. So stuff like that we could do with that. Right, but we don't really have the stuff for it right now, so let's just take refuge in the base and let's take what we have accomplished so far. So let's just go upstairs. It is 30 kilopascals, so we have, well, we are a little bit better off, but we still have a long way to go. And 86 degrees Celsius. Let me just take a look at this. Okay, very good. So the condenser now is 150 instead of 152, so I think the cooling is working. Very good. So can I see a change on the temperature display? Well, not right now, maybe later. Oh, right, also one more thing. If for whatever reason we lose power here, I would feel better if the liquid tanks were a little bit less volume, had a bit less gases in them. So tell you what, it will increase the power consumption quite a bit, but I will go ahead and increase the throughput of the volume pumps and lower the liquid purge valves to go for 0 pascals. Basically just lower the volume in the liquid tanks as much as physically possible. I think it will be better for us in the long run. Plus it should put a bit more liquids into the evaporators, so that should increase the efficiency as well. Right, and tell you what, we have these steel sheets on us. That reminds me that maybe we want to increase the power efficiency of this base at this point, because, well, we have expanded the devices in the base quite a bit with these atmospherics. So let's just print out 7 more steel sheets, some extra cabling, and a bunch of wind turbines. Right. Okay, so don't worry about the creaking, it is fine. It is basically just approaching dangerous levels here and here. But they are fine, they are not being stressed out, and we are not quite at the 60 megapascals range yet, so it's fine. Right, so we have... Ooh, nice. If we can squeeze in 1 more mole, 10 more moles, that would be kind of great. So we can have 32 trades worth of volatiles in there. Okay, I will leave this one running for a little bit longer, although... No, let's just do it quickly now. So, put everything into the landing pad and trade away whatever we can. And there we go. Okay, you can stop and just vent out whatever we need. And yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we did make a little bit of extra money, not bad. And we can still trade 152 times. Yeah, let's just leave this guy around. He will be a small gold mine for us for a little bit. Anyways, let's go inside and do a bit of suit maintenance, and let's take care of that power upgrade for the new base. So, as I said, we need at least 7 more steel sheets. Don't we have any more here? No. We only have iron and plastic sheets. Alright, so that's going to be enough steel sheets for this one. Then we need a lot of cabling and then a lot of heavy cabling. Let's start with the wind turbines first. So, wind turbine, steel and electrum. Electrum might be... let me just take a look. We need 5. Yeah, it's going to be enough, but we are starting to run a bit low. Anyways, for now it's okay. So we need to print out 5 of these, then a bunch of small cabling and a whole bunch of heavy cabling. Also, very happy to see that the base is doing alright in terms of power. Anyways, for now, let's just eat and drink. And oh, right, speaking of drinking, let me take a look at the water in a second. But first, cook 1 potato. You can go back on the shelf and drink and then take a look at the water. Let me see. So it is 1.5 liters. Yeah, definitely need to turn this one back on. Right. Okay, and what about the oxygen? It is 3.28. Lovely. We have a lot of oxygen now. In fact, what is the pressure? 3.27 megapascals. Not bad. Anyways, that's one wind turbine. I will print out 5 of them so we can have a nice even 10 at the new base. And by the way, I will hook these up to the existing network. The transformer will make sure that we are not going to overload the network, even though, technically speaking, in a storm, 10 wind turbines will generate 200,000 kilowatts, but the transformer will make sure that the base is safe, so it's fine. I mean, I suppose we could take some of these wind turbines to the new base. How many do we have? It's a bit hard to tell. 1, 2... we have 6, right? Let me just take a look. Yeah, we have 6. No, it's fine. Let's just print out 2 more and it's okay. Okay, so we have the 5 wind turbines. Next up we need 13 more small cables. Okay, that will do. And next up a lot of heavy cables. Right, we are starting to run a bit low on copper, but this one is technically enough for 2 stacks. I don't think we need that much, but it's fine. Let's just keep printing. Also, I did put the 1% CO2 filter into the suit. Let's just use it up and then we can stash it away. Also, while we are waiting for those cables, can we charge up anything? For example, that's fine, but still, let's just charge it up. Right, let's just go with this. It's fine, 40 should be enough. Right, so we have theoretically enough cabling. We are okay on the food and water. Yeah, I think we can go. Let's go for it. Also, we can pick up a little bit of extra cabling from the old transformer that we have had to pick up because of the power duplication bug, so we can repurpose these at least. There we go, that's a bit better. So cable goes there and this one goes in the tool belt and there it is. Right. Okay, how are we on this one? It is, yeah, sub 100 moles, so we need to wait for better temperatures before we can continue. Anyways, let's go ahead and... Oh right, we need frames as well. I completely forgot. We only need 5 frames, so you know what? Let's just pick up the frames that we have placed down for the entrance. It's fine. I don't mind. But only 5 of them, so we can leave the one right in front of the entrance. Okay then, let's take a look. So I think what we will do is put them right here. Okay, so this one is floating a little bit. What about the terrain manipulator? Yeah, that will have to do. We are out of dirt. So dirt canister goes there and the manipulator goes back in the tool belt, and let's deal with these guys next. Okay, so now we have just doubled our power input for this base. Not bad. Let's take a look. I mean, I suppose we could take a look at from it through the window, but oh well. So let me see. Temperature is still 87, so that is encouraging. I don't remember, I believe it was 0.6 or 0.7 the last time. So the temperature increase has slowed down a lot. Although it's just going up to 0.9. Oh well, it's fine. And also, our input is looking good. Okay, and I think we did this just in time. We are starting to drain the battery a little bit. No surprises there, we are running active vents and filtration and all that kind of stuff pretty consistently. Anyways, yeah. Okay, let me just take one last look at the... Oh, wait, one more time. We might want to do this as well. The cabling in the main power spine of the base. So we are right now... here. Oh, we are just barely not hitting the actual... Okay. We can do this one real quick. Just go up, pick up a couple of pieces of cabling from here, and I think we can reach the airlock from here. Oh, there we go, just a single piece, so we can have a T-junction there. Okay, so technically speaking, the battery charger in the airlock should be operable at this point, right? Yeah, very good. Okay, so we can charge our batteries right here. Very nice. Also, this filter is now empty. Good. So we can now put them together with the other ones. It's fine. And let's take a look at the trade and then we can say goodbye. Okay, we are up to pressure, but the temperature is not quite there yet. Yeah, we need to wait until this one cools down. Anyways, let me just quickly switch this one out and right. As you can see, the pressure is way above 50 megapascals. So yeah, this one is actually over pressurizing. So it is good that we have this safety mechanism right here. Right. Yeah, it is overpressurizing when it heats up during the day. In fact, what is the temperature of it?
Jetpack critical.
174, right. It is not nighttime temperatures that we would expect if it's filling only at night. Anyways, it's fine. So, how are we on this one? 60, yeah, I think I will treat it away in the next episode. We are running a little bit longer at this point. So, all that is left to say is that thank you for watching. If you liked the video, you can leave a like, leave a comment, and maybe subscribe to the channel if you want. If you would like to support me a little bit more, you can do so by clicking the join button and becoming a channel member, which will give you an early and ad-free access to these videos. Once again, thank you for watching and thank you very much for your support. I will see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.